when you can snatch the controller from my hand, Grasshopper. Then your training will be complete.
Ah, fuck, son of a bitch. Hey everybody, I'm Rob.
I'm Sean, and this is Tin Plated Talks.
Woohoo! Yeehaw! Alright, so we got so many questions this week, which is just awesome. Thank you guys so much. It not only does it make it easier, but also we're just glad to see you're enjoying it and you're getting engaged.
Yep. We're going to start off right away. Nightmare Panther was commenting on the fact that we both had talked about being a bit prone to supervillainy. And he asked, would y'all actually try to take over the world, or just do dastardly deeds, blow things up and such, mad scientist stuff? I would do whatever I thought I could get away with without getting on the radar of anyone big enough to do something about a supervillain.
I'm not going to conquer the world because you got to take the shitty parts too.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody want the Ivory Coast. Fuck all that. But Iceland, I'd be gunning for you. I'd have my little island kingdom that I would rule Dr. Doom style.
I'd screw with local PD, but I don't want the feds after me because feds lead to, like, other forms of federal government, and whatever superpower you got, the military can eventually cause problems for you.
That's true, but I figure once I set up shop as the God King of Iceland, I'm fine. Diplomatic immunity. It's worked for Doom in the past.
Doom!
Right?
The Banter Guy asked, if you could live in a video game universe, which one would you choose? I've got a very simple answer for this. Saints Row.
Now, and the key to this is he says that all the rules of the game apply. So you respawn.
Yep.
I guess if you breathe real deep, your wounds heal and bullets fall out of you. That being said, I would choose Ratchet and Clank. Big guns, spaceships.
Well, technically there are big guns and spaceships in Saints Row as well.
True enough. And nicer titties. All right, yeah, I'm going with Saints Row now.
And there's outpatient, no recovery time, $500, flawless head-to-toe plastic surgery.
I'm sorry. What's there to fix?
You could have an even more luxurious beard.
Oh, damn.
It could just be installed.
Yeah, I'm with him. Saints Row.
Plus, the invulnerability from consequences of your action beyond a trip to the hospital.
Oh, yeah, damn.
That's pretty sweet. It's like GTA, but crazier.
Which takes some doing. Now, there was also a question about if we have a genre that we prefer. For me, I like action platformers.
Action platformers are good. I've been more of the adventure game genre, not necessarily the point-and-click adventures, but, you know, the line between action platformer and something more puzzle-oriented. Like, I would consider Legend of Zelda to be an adventure game. I like stuff like that, especially if it has some sort of RPG-like element. Oddly enough...
Like Dark Souls!
Dark Souls is actually what would be one of my favorite genres, but just like Bizarro is like Superman, Dark Souls is like an adventure game.
I would say, yeah, I'd go with action platformers, and I guess you'd have to go a little older generation, but Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper, Mega Man,
Yeah.
You know, these are just the games that I prefer.
He also asked about the male power fantasy genre, where you get people like Kratos from the God of War, and Death and War from the Darksiders series.
Or let's be honest, anybody that's ever been in a Gears of War.
Yeah.
Jesus God, the women have beards.
I was asking, you know, if there are any games of that genre that we enjoy. Well, God of War was great.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
There was a Hulk game that came out. It was like a sandbox game.
Ultimate Destruction.
Yeah. I would say that falls in it because, yeah, the Hulk is not all that is man, but that sort of, like, powerful, in control, like, get out of my fucking way was great. And if you're going to do a Hulk game, sandbox is the way to go.
Now, would you consider the Devil May Cry games to be male power fantasy? Because he's more Bishonen than a lot of them. But think about it. He's got an array of guns and big swords. He mows through lines of bad guys. He's suave and cool and calm and collected at all times, no matter what happens.
I definitely think so. But then you get into the line of like Mario, for instance.
Yeah.
He's never going to be a male power fan.
No.
He's pudgy. He doesn't really talk. The best he's ever gotten from his girlfriend is a piece of cake.
That's a code word, though.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you know it.
Get some cake.
Cherry cake, too. What up? But, Master Chief, I think, kind of walks the line, especially with him being purposefully faceless, where the character can just project. All he does, he speaks entirely in one-liners.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Giving the Covenant their bomb back. As he falls into fucking space.
Yeah. All right, what about Snake? Either Solid Snake or any of the other inheritors to that name.
I don't think so, because I think they're, a little too fallible. He's all the time getting fucking hurt. What was the game that was, endorsed by Pepsi and Doritos? Where, the health pack where you go out in the woods, I think it was Snake Eater. You go out in the woods and eat Doritos to get your health back.
I don't recall ever eating Doritos or drinking a Pepsi in Snake Eater. I do recall changing the date on my console to kill the end of old age, though. That shit was cool.
Yeah, I would say with those, the character's a little too complex to really fit the role.
Alright, seems reasonable.
You need somebody who communicates a little closer to grunting.
A little more one-dimensional.
Yeah. Did you ever play a game called Maximo?
No, I never did.
It's an old, platformer, and all you are is this buff dude with, with a sword. Your name's fucking Maximo, and you're just plowing through the undead.
As you do.
He was almost be, a little meta about it, because he was meant to be that. It's You're just muscles and a sword.
The banter guy also commented that he lives in the UK, so the aggressive southerner redneck thing is something a little alien to him. Said he thought it would be kind of close to the Liverpudlian stereotype, but he did a little digging, and I think Geordies are going to get you a little closer from what I've seen. The whole stereotype of having an entire passel of children by 25, an accent that's unintelligible to the rest of the country, being loud, brash, and having a reputation.
We get it.
Yeah, but I think you might want to look a little towards the Geordies. Not the Geordie Shore Geordies. That gets a little bit of Jersey mixed in there too, but the more older crowd from that area.
My question is, what even brought aggressive Southerners to his mind?
We were talking about the redneck bar that you went to, the Colt Ford concert.
Yeah.
Meet me at the Waffle House.
Yeah. Okay.
But moving on, Harry Drake had some more questions for us.
Good to hear from Harry.
Starting off, he wanted to know which of the 4 classical elements would you control? I assume, for the record, we're talking about earth, wind, fire, water. Not heart or wood or metal or any of that.
My question would be, at what level of control would you have? Because with stuff like Earth, it's pretty clear. That's pretty standard. From the Earthbenders to Terra from Teen Titans. Pretty much across the board. But when you get into, controlling fire... Because remember, even Pyro from the X-Men for a long time could manipulate fire but not make it. So...
Well, let's go with... Alright, we're going to have to choose. Are we going to use as our baseline the Benders from Avatar or the Planeteers?
Not the Planeteers. I would go with either relevant superheroes or the Benders from Avatar.
Relevant superheroes is way too broad, though. You've got guys who can just manipulate fire, and then you've got people who can conjure it from nothing.
That's true. Okay, I guess we'll have to go with... The best way to make it across the board is you just go with the Benders from Avatar. Okay,
so we've got a Bender's level of power, none of this special wonky side-bending shit.
So no lightning, no plants, no metal.
No blood bending, none of that.
Right.
You just get the basic stuff, but rather than being as a result of martial arts and ki and all that, it's just... you can use it. So it's like a superpower, but those are the power levels we're looking at. I think that's a good baseline.
I'm torn between two, and that's earth and fire. And the reason I'm torn is because if you were just going to give me the power today, there's a lot of times in my day-to-day life I don't have access to a good chunk of earth. And we don't even live in places with a lot of surface bedrock. So I'd be either tossing dirt clods or I'd be forced to carry around balls of marble with me to access my power. Where with fire, it's just whoosh. And, some fucker's cooked.
Okay.
Of course, then with fire, there's not a lot of utility.
Yeah.
I burn things.
A lot.
Or if I'm feeling creative, I melt them.
I think I'd go with air. Especially if we get the sort of thing where you see where air can be used to just sort of fly or glide about. I can carry a stick glide or whatever. It seems to have a lot of mobility with it, and you can use it as kind of a shitty telekinesis.
True enough. I guess as long as we're saying that when I stomp, I form the dirt into rock to use.
Or at least a dense enough clod that it's good enough. Which,
yeah.
It's a dense enough dirt clod is a rock.
Well, I mean, it's pretty clear that one of the things they can do is control the consistency.
Yeah.
That's water and ice and steam, things like that. So, it would not be a far stretch to say you just stomp real hard and you've got a platform of solid rock to work with. So, I think I'd have to choose Earth.
Okay. So, Earth and air. Opposites. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
Harry also asked what video game universe we'd want to live in, and we covered that one.
Yeah.
If we could only play one video game for the rest of our life, he asks, what would it be?
I think for
Damn,
me,
man.
Off the top of my head, first thing that comes to mind is Minecraft.
That is a good choice.
Now, would I get Minecraft mods?
I think you'd have to assume so, yeah.
See, well, in that case, Minecraft's the biggest video game that's ever been made.
Yeah. And for that same reason, I'd pick that, too, because of all the modability. But if we knocked out mods... Like, if we said, no mods, you've got base fucking Minecraft, whatever Mojang gives you, that's what you take, and you'll like it.
Now, does that include updates?
I think that has to. Even at our most conservative, we still have to include that. And that's still going to leave Minecraft being very, very, very big.
Yeah, but at that point is when I would go, I have access to Minecraft right now, and I play it in fits and spurts of, real hard for like a month, and then
Yeah.
So, in that case, if you're not leaving me the mods... I would want to take... well, if it's any good, and I'm hoping it is, something like Star Citizen.
Yeah, that does look like it's going to be really good. I would put a vote for that too, but I'm not going to vote for something I haven't played.
In that case, Sid Meier's Pirates.
That's a good one. I would go with EVE Online.
See, I don't have a degree in accounting.
And if we want to be really generous on the definition of video, I would play Dragon Realm. It's a text-based game I've mentioned once or twice on the channel.
Yeah.
It's incredibly fun. I could play it all day, every day.
Maybe I would get into, play League a little more. Mm-hmm. Just something, because if all it is a one-player game, it's going to be miserable. But if you have other people you can interact with,
yeah,
that opens the game up to more possibilities.
I think my final vote is going to be Dragon Realms. Just because it's constantly under development. The game's been around for, God, I think fucking nearly 20 years now. Still being developed and updated, and tons of people playing still.
I'm going with Sid Meier's Pirates.
Alright, there we go.
Yep.
Harry Drake also asks, who is your most hated cartoon character? Jabberjaws. He's fucking obnoxious and he's a goddamn ripoff of everything. I hate Jabberjaws.
And I respect that hatred. It is well-founded. But I hate who he's a ripoff of. I think Scooby-Doo is absolute bullshit.
Scooby-Doo ain't good.
Right here, you fucker.
Jinkies! I get it. It was a simpler time. Maybe were I watching it back in 1971 and I was wearing some bell-bottoms and an orange shirt with big fluffy lapels and my room was covered in wood paneling, I might be like, hey, look, Scooby-Doo's running a rerun. Let's watch some Scooby-fucking-Doo and the obvious stoners in their van full of mystery.
I mean, I guess if you were baked off your fucking ass, it might be, but...
I did say 70s.
So it's implied. But my argument against that is look at the Flintstones and the Jetsons. Both older than that and not derivative, shit. You can watch the Flintstones today and it's still funny.
Well,
now,
can you call Scooby-Doo derivative? Because it started that whole cesspool of garbage.
It went on so long, it became
Self-derivative.
derivative.
That's actually something that came up on one of my exams. It's a derivative that loops, because when you do integration by parts of a trig function, see the sine loops to cosine and then back to sine, and then you're able to reevaluate sort of recursively.
No idea what you're saying, man, but
yeah.
like they're still making Scooby-Doo to fucking day.
Why?
Yes, thank you. And to me, it's fucking derivative of itself. It's like, you know how like an Ouroboros is a snake eating its own tail? Well, Scooby-Doo is a snake, tail fucking itself in the eye. That's what it is.
It'd be like if, on Simpsons, Itchy and Scratchy started talking more, and then they had an episode where they talked about South Park being derivative, because South Park made that episode about Simpsons being derivative of itself, and then it'd be all meta and congealed, and it'd just be fucking garbage, which Simpsons is about 50-50 garbage, decent now, as opposed to much better ratio it used to have.
They did do a Lego episode, which is pretty tight, but...
Well, that's super.
Well, I will say this. Jumping the shark comes from, the Fonz,
Happy Days,
and all that. Scooby-Doo jumped the shark before it was a fucking thing.
It did? It
did. They jumped the shark and they were like, woo! We're done! Peace!
And then Harry's last question was Superman or Batman?
Superman.
Batman.
Batman can go fuck himself. Batman makes no fucking sense. The only reason he's anything but a greasy fucking spot while the real heroes do the work is because of nerd boners and really, really suspect writing. Here's a guy whose only power is money, who ages at a consistent human rate, and who is only as strong as a human being can possibly be. And people will say, well, if given enough time to prepare, Batman can defeat anyone. Alright, fair enough. Let me take that argument to another level. If given enough time, Superman can go sit on the moon and jack off for 500 years, come back, and super piss right through Bruce Wayne's fucking grave. If given enough time, the ageless, eternal God King Superman always wins.
And that's why I hate Superman. Because he is the eternal fucking God King. He's given whatever bullshit fucking powers the writer in charge of him at the moment decides to give him. There is no need for there to be more colors of kryptonite than there are lantern cores.
Alright.
Each one does something bullshit and random. This one hurts him, this one heals him, this one gives him more powers, this one makes him into a jackass.
He's actually right about all those colors, by the way.
Yeah. It's been done for so fucking long. He is the embodiment of power creep. He started out not even being able to fly. He could leap tall buildings in a single bound. Literally jumping! He just goes, whee! Whee! And that turned into flying. And he's wearing glasses. Glasses was his only fucking disguise. And then eventually, 30 fucking years later, they realized that's horse shit. So they came up with some bullshit about how he slouches and he raises his voice an octave and he wears clothes that are too big and no one can possibly recognize him!
Which is all well and good.
How does anybody see Clark Kent and not say, you know, if you were in a little better shape, you'd look exactly like Superman? By the way, you've never, ever, ever reported on a single thing he's ever done, Mr. Star Reporter in the Daily Planet, in the city where Superman does everything he does. Shouldn't you have maybe had a fucking 2-line article about him at some point in your fucking career? No, let's let Jimmy goddamn Olsen cover that.
I'm sorry, you want to talk about being recognized? Okay, so we've got this motherfucker who is in unreasonable shape, who protects one fucking city, which let me talk about how hard it is to protect a city. Every hero else protects countries or planets. Yes, I'm sure a clown must be really difficult when your only power is being a self-righteous asshole with mommy issues.
And daddy issues, don't you forget. His parents are dead!
He's in unreasonable shape. He has next level tech wow, that must be fucking expensive. Hey, you know who is in really good fucking shape, has a constant hard-on for Gotham, and more money than God? Bruce Wayne. I wonder, why is it you never see them at the same functions?
Alright, if you want to talk about heroes who really should have been figured out, fucking Green Arrow!
Never even changed his goatee when he ran for mayor of Star City.
The most distinguished... It's a fucking Van Dyke! It's a Van Dyke and a curly blonde mustache. What?
Yes,
oh my god.
He was at the same time well-known billionaire Oliver Queen, mayor of Star City Oliver Queen, Green fucking Arrow! Same facial hair. The best he could get away with is going, you know, somebody told me one time I kind of looked like the Arrow, so I said, fuck it, let's grow out the beard. That's the best he could hope for, is to say I'm a huge Arrow fan, and this is my like, cosplay.
As you can see, we have some fucking opinions when it comes to comic books.
Batman can get on this dick.
And Superman might have already, but he's so fast and strong, you'll have never noticed, because he's faster than the Flash and stronger than the next strongest guy, except for Captain Marvel, who's exactly as strong as him when he needs to be, but when he's not, Superman's got the bigger dick yet again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Batman sits in a fucking cave just, no one understands me. This city needs a hero. You need to chase me. You know what that whole chase me thing is? He just wants his daddy to play with him.
There you go.
As he's running, it's, chase me, daddy. Chase me.
He's got flaws. He's got issues. He's got problems that can be exploited, as opposed to, do you have the right magic, Green Rock? No? Fuck you!
That's what makes it storytelling!
It's not storytelling, it's bullshit! You either have magic, literal fucking magic, or a Green Rock, or Superman wins.
Or...
Those are the only two outs! You can outwit Batman, you can outfight Batman, you can outrun Batman, you can outsmart him, you can outplan him. Any of these are possible ways that a conflict could happen in a Batman story. Superman story, he either feels bad, or there's a Green Rock or magic. That's it! End list of problems!
But that's the thing, because of the nerd boners, which I do not even begin to understand, fuck you nerds!
Because Batman
always has, he's always the strongest, he's always got a plan, he's always the smartest, he reaches up his bat asshole, pulls out his next bat MacGuffin, and solves the problem!
How is he always the strongest? He's never the strongest. That's
until he happens to tap that belt pouch that contains the largest single chunk of kryptonite on the planet, and stab Superman with it!
I'm sorry,
and then
he's well prepared.
Flash! Here comes a Flash, he's got something for him, he's got something for Green Lantern, because no matter what, he's always got something. You want to talk about power creep?
All he's gotta have for Green Lantern is something yellow and scary.
You want to talk about power creep? Batman used to be a fucker in baggy clothes with a machine gun. Now, he's nothing but pure solid muscle in a cave surrounded by $18 billion in hardware that Saddam Hussein was tugging his dick to, thinking if only I could get some of that.
I think 18 billion's a conservative estimate.
Yes!
You need to maybe tack a zero on that shit.
And everything he fucking does, it just, oh, I've got something for that.
He's got a small nation's GDP.
Oh, something for that too. Oh,
exactly. He's got all that money and he spends it all on a vast array of fucking
Here,
gadgets.
hold on. Let me pull out my Bat Molar, which has a communication device where I can tap out in Bat Morse code to the watchtower.
Let me ask you Let me ask you this about Batman. Has he ever had a rapid personality shift because of a rock?
Yes! Not because of a rock, but there was a point when he had to wear a different color batsuit every night!
I know the picture you're referencing. Would you like to give the backstory on it?
I believe he got hit with a ray.
A ray?
I believe so.
Okay. And if Superman gets hit with a ray, he just shrugs it off, right?
Unless it's a kryptonite ray.
Okay.
Or magic.
Again, magic, kryptonite, or fuck you.
Oh, act like...
Those are the three conflicts he ever has to deal with.
Act like magic is rare. Wonder Woman pisses it.
If he were in the fucking Marvel universe, yeah, he'd be fucked because half of the goddamn heroes have magic. In DC, it's pretty fucking rare.
I'm sorry, Zatara, Zatanna, Wonder Woman, all the Amazons, Dr. Fate.
Amazons are mystic, not magic.
They have magical tools. If you look at Red Sun it happens, and also in the one with Magog. Anytime Superman touches her sword, it cuts the fuck out of him. Because he's always clumsy. He goes, let me grab it by the blade. Ow, shit! And it gashes open his hand.
I hate Superman for the same reason I hate Doctor Strange. His powers are whatever bullshit they need to get out of the situation.
So's Batman. Batman's answer is, I have the tool.
Batman has no powers. Batman has planning and
narrative.
Tools.
Because it's always, I know this, I've trained for this, or I've got the tool for this.
So what you're saying?
It's the exact same.
So what you're saying is the writer has to come up with a cunning way that an unpowered person can get out of it, as opposed to, well, he's strong and fast, and there's no green rock.
Cunning.
Okay, you can't reference that TV
show.
You're
damn right
I get to reference the fucking Superman show, where at one point a wall is closing in on a pit trap. What happens? They hypnotize Lois Lane to do that stiff as a board, light as a feather bullshit, and she blocks the walls from crushing him. That is the bigger pile of horse shit here.
He didn't use his strength!
Because
he didn't use his strength!
But Jimmy Olsen did it! Superman wasn't even there!
Then what are you complaining about?
We're talking about shitty writing. Because at least shark repellent is something
No.
It's something a biologist could theoretically come up with.
Bat! Shark repellent!
Well, he made it up. He's gonna put his fucking logo on it.
That's the thing!
3M Innovations, motherfucker! So if you guys have some comic book questions, you might want to put them in the comments.
Yeah.
This is why we don't talk about this before we film, because you'd miss this beauty. But thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you next time. Alright, now how am I gonna get this shit off my face?
I don't know, man. How about I just yank it?
Dude, it's put on with spirit gum.
No idea what that is. I'm gonna yank it.
Oh, fuck. Son of a bitch!
I'm gonna put this on my wall.